So today we're going to look at TSA of cylinders. What does TSA stand for? Total surface area. So we're going to look at the total surface area. So the total surface area is everything outside. So imagine you're wrapping a present, everything outside. So what shapes can we see? We can see this red shape, which if you unroll it, it looks like a rectangle. So you can think of it like a can of soup, like the sticker around the can of soup. You realize that the height over here is the same as the height over here. Oops. Now, what is this distance over here? That distance over there matches us going around the outside. And what's around the outside? The circumference. What is the circumference of a circle? 2 pi r. And we know that the area of a rectangle is simply this length times this width. So the area of this sheet here is 2 pi r times h. So we have one big piece of information. What else can we see? There is a circle here and another circle here. These two circles are the same, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So the total surface area of a cylinder, total surface area, is the two little circles plus the rectangle. So we have 2 of pi r squared, because each circle is pi r squared, plus the rectangle, which we have worked out there, 2 pi r times h. Now, sometimes the books like to simplify it as 2 pi r. They take that out as a common factor, and we're left with r plus h. This may be simpler, but I prefer this line over here personally because it means I don't have to memorize the formula. I just remember there's two circles, pi r squared, and the circumference times the height of a cylinder. So let's have a look at an example and see if I can figure out how to move the sheet up. So that's another image to show you the sheet being unwrapped. So let's have a look at an example. Let's say we have a cylinder that's lying down. Even though it's lying down, the h, or the height of the cylinder, will still be this distance here. Let's call this, let's say this is 3 centimeters, and let's say the diameter is 4 centimeters. So what information do we have here? So we have the height is 3, and the r is half of the diameter, which is 2 centimeters. So we're going to plug in the total surface area of a cylinder formula, which was 2 little circles, 2 pi r squared, plus the rectangle made out of the circumference, 2 pi r, times h. So let's plug in all our numbers. We have 2 pi times r, which is 2 squared, plus 2 pi r, which is 2, h, which is 3. And we simply multiply across. We have 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 again is 8. So we have 8 pi plus 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 12 pi. How many pi's is that altogether? 8 plus 12 is 20 pi's. And don't forget the units, we have centimeters and total surface area, so it's squared. Now, if you chuck that in a calculator, you will get, let me double check, 62.8 centimeters squared. So if I ask you for exact value, you want to give me that answer. And if I give you 2 decimal place, 1 decimal place, or if it's a problem-solving question, then it's this one here, depending on how many decimal I ask you for. So that's it. Have a look at this example again and slow down a little bit if you need to. Otherwise, go off and do the examples in the book. Be very careful. Sometimes you'll be given a empty can, as in you'll be given a question where they only give you the base and the side, but they don't want the top. In that case, you will only have one circle, pi r squared, plus your regular rectangle made out of the circumference, 2 pi r, times h. That's why when you memorize a formula, it's kind of handy to memorize it, like the one in this box over here. See if I can change color, highlight it, this one here, so that you can alter it if you don't have a lid, for example, for the cylinder, depending on the question. But most of the time you will be using this one in the rectangle here. So have fun with your exercise. Finish 12.6 from Jack Plus or whatever book you're using. Okay, bye.